Hello and welcome to Gardening with Ben's Gardening and Allotment Tips podcast. This is my sister podcast to Gardening with Ben, so if you've not listened to Gardening with Ben podcast, please do head over, and that's an award-winning podcast with over 100 episodes on there for you to listen to, so plenty to catch up on. But these are short 5-minute podcasts, just giving different tips and advice on a regular basis and concentrating on one subject in particular. So today we are going to be talking a bit about a tip that I gave a new allotment holder near where I'm based. Obviously, being on an allotment site, you notice if somebody else comes down, and if you don't recognise them, it's always good to say hello, introduce yourself, and wish them well with their allotment gardening journey. And one of the main tips that I give a new allotment holder is to, obviously they'll be excited and they'll want to get cracking on their allotment and get it all tidy and cleared. And that can be brilliant, but it can be bad as well, because the more they clear it, the happier they'll be, because they think, oh, we've done a fantastic job clearing it all. But you can go away for a few weeks and then the weeds can be back as bad. So what I always give advice to new allotment holders is that once, go for it and clear it all as much as possible. You don't have to necessarily clear it all, clear bits at a time, but once you've cleared it, cover it up, because the seeds from weeds off different allotment holders will blow across and they will settle. Plus you probably won't get out every single root in the ground, so the weeds will come back with a vengeance. And definitely do not use a rotavator on an allotment that has not been used for a while. The reason for this is because, yes, it can turn over the soil and dig it all over, but think of all the roots in the soil for all them weeds. What will you do if you use a rotavator? You will chop them up into thousands of more roots. So you're probably making the issue of having weeds a million times worse, because every root could germinate and it'll make it a lot more worse. So that is one tip that I tend to give to new allotment holders, because I've seen so many allotments on our site, people coming down, digging them over, clearing them all, making them look fantastic, and then they're given up by the end of the year because the weeds have won. There's no need to have it not uncovered unless you're actually going to be using it, because if you're not going to be using that area of ground, the weeds will grow back. So just keep it covered over. Either use cardboard, use black membrane, anything to stop the light from getting to the soil to prevent the weeds, but do not use carpet. I made that mistake when I first took on the allotment because I didn't know. I used carpets, and then I was reading articles saying that the chemicals from the carpet go into the soil and it's not good for the soil. So don't use carpets. So yeah, this podcast has been a bit about what to do when you first get an allotment, really, because when you're new to it, you don't know anything, so you do appreciate all the tips and advice that other people can give you. So hopefully we'll go over a few more of these tips for new allotment holders, or if you've got an allotment. So make sure you do click that subscribe button to stay up to date with all these podcasts. Until next time, as always, remember, keep smiling, keep gardening, and keep listening to Gardening with Ben podcasts.